Okay, so think about this. What's really going to last from our time? I mean, the big headlines, the viral stuff, sure. But what about the quieter things? The details we barely even notice. Welcome to the deep dive. We take source materials, dive in, and try to figure out what truly resonates.
Yeah, find those connections.
Today, we're exploring what we're calling tomorrow's artifacts. It's all about those seemingly small details, maybe overlooked things that could actually hold huge meaning for people trying to understand us way down the line.
Exactly. It's easy to focus on, the big monuments, the major events, but the real feel of a time, often it's in the everyday stuff.
The insignificant almost.
Right. And those fragments, they can give you a much more, human connection to the past, a real sense of it.
So for this deep dive, we've got 3 really different snapshots lined up. First, an interview with a mnemonic engineer. Get this, on a spaceship that's been drifting for centuries.
100 years, yeah.
Then we look at a cloud cartographer on a future Earth, where the whole atmosphere is different.
Totally reshaped.
And finally, a trip back to 15th century Florence. We've got this interview with a paper stretcher.
Sounds like a random mix, maybe.
It does. But trust us, there's a really strong thread connecting them. It's about memory, what gives things meaning, and those tangible links across time.
Let's jump in. Where should we start? The Calypso drift.
Yeah, let's start there with Eric Hale.
Okay, so Eric Hale, she's a mnemonic engineer, and this interview, like you said, it's from the Calypso drift. It reached us, get this, 417 years after the ship left. And it came through what they called a low-priority archival node.
Like finding a message in a bottle almost, but digital, dusty corner of the server room kind of thing.
Exactly. And the fact that we're getting this from the periphery, it kind of speaks volumes about what Era actually does.
Right, because she's not like managing the main systems or crunching the big scientific data. Her job, the way she puts it, is to reconnect meaning to data.
She works in that gap, between the raw info and the human feeling, the cultural context that makes it actually matter.
And she focuses on things the ship's AI, no matter how smart, would probably just file away or ignore. She gave this great example, didn't she? This fabric patch.
Yeah, the ELIA patch, found hidden in a vent shaft. Just rough stitching, the name, and this simple drawing 2 stars and a line between them.
And AI looks at that, flags it maybe as debris, non-essential clutter.
Probably. But Era saw, a story, an emotional weight there, something personal that the algorithms just couldn't parse.
It really shows that difference, doesn't it, between just storing information and holding on to actual felt memory.
Absolutely. And that connects directly to this idea she talks about, cultural drift, which makes sense, right? Hundreds of years in isolation.
Language changes, customs shift, maybe even the reason for the mission gets a bit fuzzy.
Exactly. So Era's job is to, patch the meaning. Not change the facts, but add the context back so later generations on board can actually understand the old records.
That Sanctum Corridor example was fascinating.
Oh, yeah.
A place that was clearly important, deeply significant, but the AI eventually just reclassified it. Storage. Because its function, which was collective mourning.
Yeah, a place for people to grieve together.
The AI couldn't really quantify that. It didn't fit the data model.
But Era, she went back. She analyzed these faint audio traces, residue really, and pieced together what it was truly for. She basically restored its history.
Which backs up her point about the ship feeling, alive, not mechanically, but with accumulated memory, human memory.
Something she argues machines just can't replicate. It's the layers of experience, the echoes of feeling baked into the place, both physical and digital.
And she worried, didn't she, that people might just stop questioning things. Yeah. The system gives you a clean answer, even if it's maybe missing the truth.
Yeah, that reliance on automated systems, it definitely resonates today. She's sort of a reminder to dig deeper, question the easy answers.
And her method, she talked about listening longer, resisting that urge to just invent meaning to fill a gap, letting it emerge instead.
That's such a good lesson for us now with information overload. And she kept that old language translation aid, remember? Even though the ship's systems were way beyond it.
Because you never know where insight might come from, even from something that seems obsolete.
But her final thought, that's the one that really hits home.
Memory is maintenance.
Yeah. If you forget why you built the ship, eventually you forget how to steer it.
Wow. That's profound. And it applies to way more than just a spaceship, doesn't it? Any big project, any society, really.
Totally. If you lose sight of the why, the original purpose, you just drift. Memory isn't passive, it's active. It shapes where you're going.
Okay. Let's shift gears completely. From deep space to future Earth. After these atmospheric rebalancing acts, we meet Iona Maris, the cloud cartographer.
Right, and Iona's world is such a contrast to Era's tech-heavy ship. Here, the sky itself has changed. The jet streams are different, and clouds literally flow like rivers.
Predictable pathways in the sky.
Yeah, and Iona maps them. But crucially, she does it mostly by hand, not relying on, say, satellite imaging we might expect.
Which is the big question, isn't it? In a future that must have incredible tech, why map clouds manually?
And her answer is so human. She says people still want to see the sky. They want a connection, a tangible way to remember it.
So her maps, which you can find at kiosks or even printed on cloth, they're more than just weather data.
Much more. They're like keepsakes, ways to hold on to a piece of the sky. It taps into that deep need we have to connect with nature, even if it's a nature that's been, well, engineered.
Her tools are a funny mix, too. She uses a drone, sure, a modified altimeter drone, but also an old telescope and handmade chalks. Biodegradable vellum.
It's this blend of future and, like, ancient tradition, a very deliberate, tactile way of engaging with her environment.
And apparently, she sometimes sketches from memory, even feeling unusual cloud patterns, like a counterclockwise rotation she mentioned.
Yeah, it suggests this incredible attunement, almost an intuitive grasp of the atmosphere that, maybe purely automated systems wouldn't catch.
Then there's that detail about the recollector clouds.
Oh, right. The ones that form over old memory farms, places where data used to be stored, apparently.
And sometimes they release scents, like lemon and old paper, was it, in Zone 3?
Yeah, like faint smells raining down. It's almost poetic, the atmosphere holding these weird, subtle echoes of the past.
It makes you think about how memory gets imprinted, doesn't it? Not just in buildings, but maybe even in the air itself.
And Iona thinks people care about clouds because they're indifferent to us, to our human stuff. They change slowly. They represent something enduringly natural.
Even in this changed world.
Yeah. And she described those clover drift clouds, too.
Oh, the ones in spring. Over fields meant to help pollinators.
Right. And the tradition of making a wish if you see the rare fourth cloud in the formation, it adds this touch of, like, wonder, hope.
Yeah, her final wish, that the sky keeps surprising us.
It really captures that theme, that even in a heavily managed world, there's still room for beauty, for mystery, for wonder in nature.
Okay, from future skies now, let's go way back. Ground level, 15th century Florence. Our final interview is with Lucia Bellondi, a paper stretcher.
And Lucia's perspective is so important. Her job sounds maybe mundane compared to, the famous artists and scribes of the Renaissance.
Making the paper itself.
Exactly. But her work, stretching and pressing that damp pulp by hand with wooden frames and weights, it was absolutely fundamental. Without it, where would all that writing and art be?
We focus on the Da Vinci's, the Michelangelos, the writers. But Lucia represents this whole unseen infrastructure of craftspeople. Physical labor that made all that cultural explosion possible.
And she got into it because her uncle had an accident, right? Took over his role.
Yeah, it highlights how work often functioned and practical, often within the family. Not always about grand artistic ambition, but about need, about community support.
And she knew her work was vital, but also that it was overlooked, if the paper failed later on.
Blame went to the illuminator, the scribe, the maker, not the person who prepared the foundation.
It's a pattern we still see, isn't it? The invisibility of essential, often physical support work.
Definitely. But she developed incredible skill, didn't she? Patience, obviously. But learning to trust her hands more than her eyes.
Yes. And she even claimed she could predict if paper would warp just by the smell of the pulp drying. That's deep knowledge, honed over years. Quiet expertise.
There was that sharp little comment, too, about men getting praised for work women had just been quietly doing for ages.
A reminder of those gender dynamics in labor, something often missing from the standard historical narratives.
And she thought about the future, about who might read the pages made from her paper centuries later.
Yeah, and she found satisfaction just knowing the work held together. There's a real sense of purpose there, connecting to the future through the physical object she helped make.
So what did she want us, future generations, to know?
Not just the big events. She wanted us to know about the everyday lives, the rhythm of Florence, the smells, the sounds, and the importance of crafts like hers.
Her quote was powerful. The world you read was built on paper, and people like me helped make it.
Such a clear statement of value for that foundational work.
So, okay, we have Era, preserving meaning in deep space. Iona, mapping the changing skies of future Earth. Lucia, making the physical base for knowledge in Renaissance Florence.
Three incredibly different contexts.
Totally different. But when you line them up, there's this clear common thread, isn't there?
Absolutely. They're all, in their own ways, custodians, guardians of something intangible.
Era's guarding emotional context, cultural memory in a digital space. Iona's capturing natural beauty, wonder, a connection to the changing planet. Lucia was ensuring the very foundation for communication for art could endure.
They really highlight how much relies on this often unseen, often uncelebrated labor. The work that safeguards memory, that keeps meaning alive, that preserves the tangible bits of human experience across huge gulfs of time.
It's a reminder that history isn't just the big names and dates. It's also woven from countless acts of care, attention, quiet dedication by ordinary people.
Yeah. The maintenance of memory, like Era said.
So maybe the final thought to leave you with is this. What's the invisible work happening right now in our time? What quiet acts of preservation or dedication to detail might end up being incredibly significant centuries from now?
What are you contributing, maybe without even thinking about it, that helps build the memory of the future?